How are you feeling?
You wanna?
This is gonna be hard.
Okay, honestly, what are you feeling? I mean, what?
Nothing.
Michael look good.
I feel empty.
Is there any good? Did you take anything good out of this?
I'm not gonna open my heart to people as much. I'm not going to. If she says she wants to just be friends, then. Oh, you meant the Cowboy game? Oh.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
We're talking about the game.
Oh, right. No, yeah. Dude,
Like what?
I don't fucking know, dude.
It's week one. You gotta look at it that
Can
way.
you
It's
talk
week
me
one.
out of what, like, why? Should I think we're gonna make the playoffs at all? That we're even gonna be sniffing?
Well, because
We can't protect. The penalties are still there. We're coached by a fucking frog. He looks like a frog. Our owner.
Okay,
I don't want to say it. I like saying it when I'm just watching by myself. I don't like saying it on the air.
I'll tell you what.
Die. Die. But his son is just there. It's like if Trump Jr. just came in for Trump. Oh, sick. Yeah, this is going to be
It's
better.
like the Spaneye.
Yeah.
They just keep fucking spawning and spawning, and they'll
I
always
just-
be.
Give up.
the Packers the Packers lost 31-3, week one last year, ended 13-3.
With Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, I understand, but it's not like you're not capable of. I mean, you had the best offense in the entire league yesterday
Last year, and Amari is gone.
or last year.
Amari's gone.
Gallup will
left
be
tackle's
back
gone.
though. He's got to hope the O-line can stay healthy.
It's already not healthy.
I
Yeah,
know
already
you gotta
not
hope.
healthy.
You gotta hope that this doesn't continue, and you get your.
And then
Was it your
our
left guard?
already bad left guard got hurt in the first quarter and went limping off.
We saw two offensive linemen get
Yeah, the
like
left tackle
helped
of the
off
Bucs.
the field today.
And Dak just can't do it. He can't do it if it's not all working around him. He can't do it. We've known it since his rookie year, and we like to dance it around it because he's a good guy. But he can't do it. So why are we just going to pay him?
Yeah, what is his contract looking like? I was gonna ask you.
I mean, at this point, it's going to, as everyone signs another one, not be as bad because.
Well, how many years does he have? How
Well,
much
he
longer
signed it
on the
for
Dak
it, so it's
chain?
2 more after this year.
2 more after.
He did it on purpose.
So 3
But-
more full seasons.
But they're going to sign it. He's going to be the quarterback until he's 36 and retires because we don't move on from guys. We let guys just stay. And Tony is so much better than he will ever be. Tony. And yeah, Tony Romo should be Hall of Famer. Yeah, I'll say it. Hall of Fame talent. I'll say that. He doesn't have the resume because of the crime they did to him of giving what Dak had tonight for 8 years, the first 8 years of his career, and he was still slinging that fucking thing, putting up 32 a game, and it was the defense that was losing the games for us and knocking us out every year. And then Dak can't fucking handle any of that, dude. Romo was throwing to Patrick Creighton. He made Miles Austin look good. He made a Pro Bowl. He had 1,100 yards.
You have a solid point.
yeah.
And Dak he can only make no one look better. Schultz? No, that's Kellen.
Yeah.
Dak's contract is a 4-year, 160.
No, it's 12 years. His contract already with Jerry behind the scenes is for fucking 12 years because he's a great leader. He's a great guy. And Jerry will always defend him, and he'll never want to be wrong, which is why McCarthy's probably going to coach him forever. Can hope. Yeah, sure, we'll get Sean Payton. What is that going to do? We hired Bill Parcells in 05, and everyone's like, oh, Parcells, all-time coach. No, him and Jerry butted heads immediately, and he got out of there.
Yeah, Jerry is the center problem.
He's the general manager, and he's the worst general manager of all time.
Oh, yeah.
of all time in any sport, including athletic directors of even middle schools. Mr. Drake would be a better general manager, and I'm serious when I say that 100%. I honestly think if you sat him down with just other people around him, he would make better decisions than Jerry Jones.
Drake's a good dude. Makes great decisions.
And
Awesome
smart.
teacher.
Good
Smart.
coach.
Well-spoken. Good looking. He's still young.
A family man.
A family man.
Yes.
Yes.
No situations with him.
Yeah, no.
Believe that one.
No, it's real
dude.
life.
I'm just so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I thought I could after the debacle that was the end of that San Francisco game, I thought I could just let it be and go into a season with no expectations. And I even thought about it, and then all the way up until about 12:30 this afternoon, I turned to Keaton and I was like, damn it. I'm getting fucking nervous again. I'm getting fucking nervous again because I think we can beat him. We've lost to Brady 8 times before, but tonight we're going to beat him. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, you did play a tough defense still. I mean, the Bucks are still just...
Yeah, it was a good defense. And
it's a
we
really
played
good
a
defense. Yeah.
Kind of.
Dude, you have
We held up in
Micah.
the red zone.
You have Micah and Trayvon. At least think about that. You have your anchors for the next 10 years.
Trayvon didn't necessarily play well. He didn't play bad, but he didn't play well.
He's Trayvon, though.
He had that one play in the end zone. Other than that, when he's the worst tackler, dude. All he does is throw his body at guys. And you weigh 180 pounds. Can't throw your body into Godwin and expect to just bowl him over.
Yeah, that's what I never understood is it's clearly the weaker part of his skill or his talent is like his frame and how skinny he is. Why wouldn't you spend the entire offseason putting on even 10, 15 pounds, trying to bulk up a little bit?
Probably affects how he turns and runs and stays agile and moves with these fast-ass receivers. You want to try to stay light, but I don't think putting on a little extra weight would hurt.
I do love his speed because his catch-up speed is crazy to where he can be so aggressive at the line that if he gets beat, unless it's one of the elite guys, he can catch up to most guys.
Yeah.
And then when he catches up and he's playing the ball, he plays it as well as most wide receivers he's covering. But, man. No, I like the defense. This is the first time I said I never thought I'd live to see the day when our defense isn't the one losing us games. It's whatever.
Yeah,
Let's
it is
move
weird
on.
seeing it.
Yeah, you guys are feeling good.
Yeah, great day. Great day
Start
to be
with
a
you 'cause
Vikings
you don't
fan.
feel as good as Derek.
I feel
Because you
pretty good.
That was a little dicey.
Well,
You tried to give it away. You tried to charger it, and you couldn't because Derek Carr, as you've been on,
so fucking bad. He's so bad. It is unbelievable how bad Derek Carr is, and his O-line did him no favors. But it's real easy to put up numbers when now you have Devontae Adams. But we're gonna see just how bad they are, because their O-line is gonna sell every game, and they still almost beat us. It's a Lombardi issue. It's a play calling issue. The run pass bullshit that we're still doing 3 seasons later, when Steichen was calling plays, has just evolved into Lombardi calling play. We didn't even target Mike Williams. Hardly. He had his first catch in the second or third quarter.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
It was very frustrating, but the defense. This is the first time where I'm like, wow, we have a really good defense.
Asante.
Oh man.
I kept telling Keaton, I'm like, now that just wait even more so when JC comes back.
Yeah, it's JC and Asante. I know. And Asante did kind of get cooked by Adams, but Adams does that to everyone. He's going to get open. He's going to make everyone look a little silly. But, he made up for it big time. And then he had that great breakup, too. I'm very excited about the potential of our defense. It's great. And then Khalil had 3 sacks. Come on. He's washed.
Nah, he's worth those picks.
Yeah.
He's worth those picks.
Oh, yeah. The second and then like the 2 sevenths that are like compensatory or whatever it is.
I mean, that was just a match made in heaven because the Bears wanted to move off of his contract and get rid of him and get a couple picks.
And we can take on that contract.
And they're in the perfect position to take it on and give away picks that don't really matter. And even if you make the picks or you're waiting a couple years for them to even pan out and you're not in wait a couple years mode, as we've said many a time.
We didn't like send a haul either. It was a second and then
second and a sixth.
Second, and I think there's 2 sevenths that are like Yeah.
What are sevenths?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah. So
they're Dennis
Great.
Houston, our number 2 receiver tonight.
So I really like the defense. It's only going to get better. I think the team is only going to get better, but we've got to fix the offensive play calling. It was so bad. But it's week 1. Week 1's always rusty. I hate week 1. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm just glad we actually came away with the win and didn't charger it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair tonight. That's all I really got to
say. Just grinning over there.
Yeah, look at you.
How can I not be happy, man? Just looking at the, week 1 stats. I know we still have Monday, but let's be real.
I thought you were going to say, I'm just looking at the standings here, and I see we're tied for the 1 seed.
Hey, stats are stats. If you had to take a guess, after the crazy, crazy Sunday we've had, who do you think would be the number 1 rushing leader without looking?
I remember seeing across the bottom of the board.
Chubb's up there. I have him in fantasy, so he's got Chubb's up there though. I don't think
Dalvin
he's number 1.
And it wasn't Madison.
No, it wasn't Madison. He got like...
I didn't know if I didn't blink and missed 2 60-yarders in garbage time when we left.
Wasn't Dalvin? Was
Who?
it?
Who?
No, you guys got to guess. Come on.
Saquon?
What's your guess?
It wasn't Swift. Because there was someone right above Swift.
Definitely wasn't Derrick Henry.
No, who played in the morning games? Wasn't Lamar. Wasn't Trey Lance.
It was Saquon.
Why didn't you just say it when he said Saquon?
Because I wanted to know. I was curious who you thought.
Saquon,
dude.
At $50 in the auction. It's looking all right now.
164 yards on the ground today.
All right, let's just go game by game. I'll give you an overreaction, and you just tell me if it's a proper overreaction, because all of the overreactions are going to come tomorrow. The Vikings are winning the North, even though the Packers lost 38-3 last year against the Saints in Week 1 and still won 13 games.
Hey, exactly.
Obviously, the Cowboys are
It's Week 1
in a travesty. There's going to be the Chiefs look fantastic. There's things to every game. So, I guess Bills Rams. We have Week 1. By the way, this is the first time we're on YouTube, and this is the first time we're out there. Well, a round of applause. We're back. We're back.
We're back.
We're back in a little new cover 3. Derek Jetta Peters has now joined the trio. And we're just going to kick it off Week 1. We're going to get to bets. We're going to get to lines of Week 2 in a little bit. Let's go Bills Rams to start, though. Overreaction, the Rams are bad.
Their O-line's bad.
O-line is bad. Stafford's elbow is at least going to be on our minds at all times when we're watching. And every bad throw we're going to think is the elbow. And the defense didn't look great. They were going against arguably the best offense in the entire league and the MVP favorite and Super Bowl favorite. But it still didn't look good. Jalen got beat again for a long touchdown. It's now the last 6 games or 5 games. He's given up like a 50-plus yard touchdown in every single game, and he hadn't given up one in the last like 58 games before that. He allowed a perfect passer rating, 6 or 8 for 8, whatever, 6 for 6 completions against him. It didn't look good, and the Bills looked great. Is it more so Bills are great or more Rams are in actual kind of trouble?
I think the Bills are great, but the Rams will put it together. But that offensive line is a problem. Stafford didn't have a clean pocket.
Well, yeah, true, very true. I also have to think they are going through. I mean, they got rid of 3 or 4 coaches this year.
What the fuck with Cam Akers, dude?
Oh yeah, I mean,
fuck. Tell us.
I think I read something that they were saying it was because the offense couldn't find a rhythm, but I don't understand why.
He wasn't in the game to give him a chance to find the rhythm.
That's what I don't understand.
He needs to be the rhythm.
I saw him on the field for 5 plays.
Yeah, he's not part of the problem. The offense isn't in a rhythm.
I mean, is he? Because everything coming into this game was, isn't he taking the lead role kind of thing? Obviously, he's going to split carries with Henderson, who looked really good. But you still would think that he's going to get more than I don't even think he got a carry. And I'm pretty sure he was literally on the field for like 3 or 4 pass plays, and that was it. It's like,
no, it was bad.
What do you
But I mean, the Bills didn't punt. Even the Aaron Donald thing was the only thing that looked still dominant for the Rams. It was the only thing that carried over to me, other than Cooper Kupp obviously still being amazing. But they didn't get Allen Robinson involved.
Yeah, what's going on with your boy A-Rob?
It just wasn't his problem. Jason and I saw at least 5, 6, 7 times he's one-on-one. The only corner or defensive back on the entire side of the field is on that side with him, and they didn't look his way at all.
But did you see? I just so happened to stumble across a video of them going, "What's the deal with A-Rob?" And it's just showing all of his routes, and he's really slow off the line on some of those routes. Like, it looks like he has like no effort, like jogging up to his guy and trying to break.
I don't know.
Like,
I'd
it
have
just
to watch
looks
all
slow.
of the offense.
I'll try to find the video and show you. It did
Does it
not
show the
look
whole
good
play?
on his
Are
part.
those not running plays? Are those
No.
definitely
It's
passing plays?
pass plays. It went through like every route he's actually running where he can be targeted. And it did not look good, but I don't know. Maybe it's a.
I don't know.
Weird.
I know I've just
Week
seen
one's
what he's
weird.
done, and I didn't like that they weren't even looking his way.
I have some bad news to tell you.
What?
Dak Prescott out several weeks, will need surgery. Out indefinitely.
No shot.
3 minutes ago, right here. Will need surgery on his right thumb and is out indefinitely, owner Jerry Jones says.
Oh my God, it's true.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
What was the line, dude?
It's Jimmy time.
Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah.
You think they do something? Dude, no.
He threw it out there, and I like it.
No. Like he
Cooper
was saying,
Rush season?
you're going to have to deal with it because Jerry Jones, like he was just saying, sucks Dak's hog. He's not going to just dish him out. He's not doing it. I completely agree with you. There's a 12-year contract waiting for Dak. Most money ever by a quarterback.
Holy. He didn't even hit his hand on a helmet. It was just the.
All right, so the Saints came back. They were down 16 in the fourth. Fuck. God damn it, dude.
I'm sorry. Sorry to break it to you, but, you know.
My first memory is the Romo muffed field goal.
First, like, sports.
My
Cowboys
first football memory is when they were playing the Seahawks and Tony Romo was the backup quarterback and he muffed the field goal that would have won and sent them to the divisional round of the playoffs. My second memory, because I still didn't follow, is the next year they went 13-3. They were the 1 seed, divisional round, home field, 2007, and they lose to the Giants and Eli Manning at home. And they go on and beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. It was that year. 2009, we finally win a playoff game. Woohoo! We could beat Donovan McNabb. Whoop-de-fucking-do. And then lose to the Favre Vikings in Minnesota. Not even close. And then 3 years in a row, 8-7 going into week 17 with just needing to win and you're in. Sunday Night Football each year against the Giants and then the Redskins. Sorry, excuse my language. And then the Eagles the third year. The third year was we had Kellen Moore because Romo had a herniated disc in his back week 16, even though he still led the drive that won the game against the Redskins. Sorry, excuse my language again. And we lose every time, and then we finally have the year 2014. It's the whole year, and Gene Steratore, who I have to see every week on CBS when we don't know whether you caught it or not. We go to Gene Steratore, and we finally have it, and he rips it out. We would have gone into Seattle where we already beat them that year. Shout out to Terrence Williams, 3rd and 23. DeMarco Murray trucking Richard Sherman into the end zone. We would have done it. That would have been the year, even though something else would have happened. And then Romo goes down, and we get Dak, and he just cock teases me, blue balls me like 7th grade. And I collapse like I did in Walmart back on that same night. And And now we just get rope-a-doped into Dak being our guy for 15 years, even though he can't carry anything when it goes wrong.
You can't stay healthy either.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Why, dude? Why couldn't you just have liked the Patriots, Jason? Why couldn't you have just liked the Patriots? I could just be a Patriots fan and still be pissed today about how shitty Mac Jones is, but at least have 6 Super Bowls to sleep okay at night with. Instead, I have the Lakers, who in all of my teens, where is your prime fandom years against your friends, had the worst record in a 7-year span in the NBA, and now I've got the Russell Westbrook thing that I don't even want to have to think about. That's the best thing going on right now. At least he stays healthy compared to anyone else in my sports life. Trout can't stay healthy. LeBron's fragile. Anthony Davis don't even get me started. Shohei's already had Tommy John. I'm the most durable one. I just fucking
dude.
You need to pick new teams. This is the
It's
problem.
not how it works, though, dude. I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
I know.
You're locked in.
I'm stuck.
I don't know. I mean,
There's no out.
go look
You
at.
don't pick your parents. Unfortunately. For all.
But your
For all of
parents.
us.
Your parents are different than a sports team.
Oh, they're part of the trauma. They're part of the trauma. There's nothing like your dad not giving an absolute about football, but then when the Cowboys play the Packers, he goes and finds his Packers t-shirt from 1987, and he comes out and he's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers, I love seeing Jerry Jones when they show his face. And then Aaron Rodgers, every time he fucking rips my heart out, I have to just walk outside and see what happened on that last drive. It's like when I'd come home after a baseball game, I'd go 3 for 4, but strike out looking once. Had a great game. What happened on that fucking called third strike? Sorry, other trauma. It all runs deep.
Yeah,
dude.
just get it all
fucking
out, you know.
intertwines.
This is good.
Tony? Can we get Tony back for one more ride? What would it take?
Might be able to
What
get
would it
Rivers on a
take,
deal.
Dude? There's no one I've loved more. There's no one I love more.
How old is Tony?
All right, 36,
Got
37.
drafted. And,
Tell me when he got drafted, because I was actually
he started in 07. I probably got drafted. I think I know. Why do I not know? 05 or 04? It's because he went.
It's
undrafted.
Well,
it's
I-
2005.
He
I
went
think.
undrafted.
2005.
I
It's
was
gotta be.
curious because you were saying that their defense was horrible when he was playing. So if he got drafted in 05,
Oh, there's that great article on The Athletic, remember like a month or two ago, where this guy went through all of the years going back to however long, and he did this thing where he combined the ranking of your special teams and your defense, and then he compared it to what that quarterback's offense was, and it basically said what quarterbacks did the most with the shittiest team around them. The Andrew Lucks, the Tony Romos, the Deshaun Watsons. You can even say the Aaron Rodgers up until, I mean, all in the mid 2010s, it wasn't 10-7 games that Aaron Rodgers was losing in the playoffs. It was 38-35 shootouts of him and Jordy Nelson and everyone going crazy and Devontae Adams, and their defense couldn't hold anybody. Seattle.
That's true.
And the Seattle,
Right.
I mean, that's a whole other thing. If it's just the tight end just catches a ball in the Seattle game, 2014. We don't need to revisit that. What was the best game?
2003.
Okay, Steelers Bengals. Can we move on to Steelers
Yeah,
Bengals?
yeah.
Can we get off the Cowboys and stop thinking about them?
Joe Shiesty.
That was one of the craziest games of, especially in week 1 ever. How many times did you think a team had that game won? 7, just in the last quarter and a half, including overtime.
do you know how hard it would be to go back to, let's just say you're Pittsburgh? How do you go back and be like, we just had a +5 differential in the turnovers and almost lost this game in overtime? And then
Well-
you're the Bengals, and Joe Burrow just throws, 3 picks? Turns the ball over
4 picks.
4 picks. It's like, okay, I get
I
it.
think a 5th that got called back, though, actually.
There's
Week 1.
4 picks and a fumble, but I don't know who fumbled.
It's week 1. Let's obviously not go nuts, but it is definitely kind of concerning in a way.
Come on. That's crazy.
Well, remember 1 year ago, week 1, the Steelers beat the Bills. And it was like a 13-6 or 10 game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same thing. Oh, the Pittsburgh just beat them. Can Ben get one more last run? The defense is great. And the Bills, oh no. Are they not going to be good? There's all these expectations now. And then everything happened after that. And again, we can go over the Saints-Packer game last year. I'm sure there are a couple other ones, but those are the big ones that stand out. Not only could you just chalk it up to a bad game on the Bengals' part, but also the Steelers, you lose TJ for what looks like the year.
Oh yeah. He knew right away that it was torn.
So I'm not the only one depressed today.
Najee?
Out of our...
Najee.
And then the Najee thing certainly isn't good. Apparently, he said it's not as bad as we all thought it possibly could be, the full Liz Frank injury.
Yeah.
But it was already a problem in the preseason.
It's going to affect him.
And it's already
the
week
season.
1.
Yeah.
It's clearly, especially if he's not just going to take a few weeks off, something that is just going to stay with him all year.
He's not going to be 100%. He's not going to live up to what he truly. He's not. Can't be the workhorse.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So
got to get an RB2 and 3 in there.
Huge win for the Steelers, and if they're going to try to grind through this season, even though Cade, who was as optimistic as anybody Steeler fan, thinking if Mitch can just play well, we have a Super Bowl defense that proved it today with what we couldn't say is probably the best safety in the league.
Minka?
Is there anyone better than Minka right now? If you
Harrison
combine the
Derwin.
tackling, does he get the turnovers though? Combined
No,
with the
but
durability?
Derwin plays everywhere and will get so many more sacks than Minka. I'm a Charger fan. I gotta say Derwin.
Okay, that'd be a good thing to see the numbers at the end of the season because I just see Minka always coming up with these turnovers.
He's
he
a ball
blocks
hawk.
the fuck point, or was it point
That's
after a field
huge.
goal?
It was a
Like
field
that,
goal.
that was so huge.
No, there's a point after to make it a tie game and send it to overtime.
You're right.
That
Yes.
Jamar
You're right. Yeah.
touchdown in the very front of the end zone in that corner, and then they blocked the extra point, sent it to overtime.
But
That's huge.
Cade, who's as optimistic as any Steeler fan, when TJ was out, he's like, that's it. Like, he literally was going to win us games single-handedly.
Oh yeah.
Keaton and I were like, kind of said it as a joke, but then we're like, actually, no, this is 100% realistic. He could average 2 sacks a game.
Oh
And that
yeah.
wouldn't be crazy. And he could have, if he played a full season healthy, he could have like 34 sacks, which sounds ridiculous, but it really isn't with him.
He'd
He's so
easily get 20 plus.
good. He's so good. So that is so huge. And then the Najee thing, like we said. But man, there's skill position players. The catches in that game, dude. The Jamar one that didn't count in the end zone. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
Hot Donna. And then Deontay's.
Deontay Johnson's catch
Oh!
was so
There's
nice.
a Claypool one that I think I missed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I just had it on a corner. I was just rifling through games on my game mix, so I missed some plays, but I kept it on because I was juicy towards the end.
It was just so good. Obviously not good for the Bengals though. But that is one that I'm not gonna overreact to. Not overreacting to this game. Steelers will still win 7, 8, 9 games, whatever you want to say. But we're not terrified of them, especially with the injuries. And the Bengals, I think, will be okay.
Was it
Steelers'
last
defense
year?
is a really good defense.
Yeah, the
front.
Bengals will be okay. They'll win 10 games or so, probably,
Yeah.
if not more.
They'll be fine.
Was it last year that the Steelers started? Was that 13-0, 14-0?
No, I
or
think
was
2.
that 2 years
Yeah,
ago?
2 years. 11 and 0.
11-0.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right. What else? What was another crazy one? The Saints one was actually crazy.
I didn't get a chance to watch that game.
Oh my God.
I was watching parts of it. I had it on my big one because I'm a Jameis guy, and that was the morning game, so I had to watch.
That was like the entire Jameis experience.
Yeah.
Like just a colossal train wreck at times. He kind of always keeps you hanging when you want to just say, all right, I'm not watching this game anymore, especially if you have money on it, which Keaton and I did. You're like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm just going to wait until Andrew Siciliano comes back and he says, all right, he's done it again. Jameis has brought him back. And it happened in the 4th, and the Falcons collapsed, and it was kind of as good as I think the Falcons are going to look too. Mariota looked okay. He's not slinging it, but we're not scared.
No, he's not. No, but
But Cordero's good. He's frisky.
Yeah, he is frisky. Yeah, I'll give you
Drake
that.
London flashed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Pitts didn't have a good game, but we
He's
know,
Pitts.
know what Pitts is.
Yeah.
So it's some good skill position players. I think they're at least going to be watchable.
Yeah, Drake London, 5 catches for 74 yards.
We like it. One of them was one big one, so the other ones weren't very huge. They must have not been very huge. Taysom Hill, 4 carries, 81 yards. See that big one? Where you saw that big one? That was nice.
Oh,
yeah.
the 50-something yarder.
Yeah. Good win for the Saints, though. Good win. Good
Yeah.
morale. You come back. Jameis, he's probably licking his fingers, licking those W fingers in the locker room.
Division game.
Yeah.
great.
The one that ruined my teaser with Cade. Woohoo! Didn't win a single bet today, and my quarterback is out for 2 months. The 49ers dicked me. I didn't know, and I probably would have stayed away completely if I knew it was going to be just a monsoon.
Yeah.
By the fourth quarter, that was horrendous. By the end of the game, the camera lens, you couldn't see out of it. But I thought Trey looked, for the circumstances, pretty good. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think he's going to have a slow start, but I think by like week 5 or 6, once he gets full speed reps, regular season, I think he's really going to take off. But that's a bad game to play in. It's not easy to play in that kind of weather. Let him in a dry, like nice condition. Let's see how he plays, you know?
You played in shitty weather. How, like, bad is it? Like,
Well,
defense to offense, who does it affect more?
I think it plays. The defense has a huge advantage because
Quarterback
offense,
can't
you're
throw.
kind of you can't throw the ball. I mean, you can, but Trey Lance isn't going to be humming balls across the middle of the field like he would if you're playing in LA.
You could see he was throwing it, and it was coming off kind of weird. And when guys were catching it, it was like,
Yeah,
Really-
you
really
have to,
trying to catch it.
You have to really emphasize on the way you catch the ball, and then on defense, I mean, you're not necessarily trying to catch anything. You're just trying to destroy people. So you can just run full speed, and these dudes are already slipping and sliding. So it really helps the defense a lot.
We saw that game in Washington. I think it was last season or the season before, and I think it was against San Francisco. And it was super rainy in Washington, and it was super low scoring because you can't throw. You can't move the ball.
Yeah,
All you can do is run.
You're one-dimensional, really.
In warm-ups, the ball was slipping out of Trey's hand. Like, it would fall out of the side of his hand and land right next to him. It's just, fuck.
Yeah, well, while the Bears didn't look like good at all, really, you could almost feel a sense of happiness that Matt Nagy is not there.
Yeah.
I know I felt it, not having to look at him when they were running it on 2nd and 9 again and watching Justin just run for his life and then Nagy looking pissed at him. So that part was nice. A nice win for the Bears. And the Rams, it's okay. Or not the Rams. The Niners, it's okay because the Rams did lose. Cardinals lost. We don't think the Hawks are winning tomorrow, although given today, who freaking knows tomorrow?
It's going to be an interesting one.
The Steelers Bengals was crazy. The one that, as in the midst of, again, what was the craziest morning slate of games, especially in week 1, that I've ever seen, the craziest hour ending of games. There's no better time than like that 12:35 time when like the couple weird touchdowns happened where now you just have 5 or 6 games that are 1-score games. Like, it's just great. And but the Eagles-Lions was kind of sneaky.
Yeah.
Like, behind the scenes, the Lions were still kind of scoring. The Eagles were still scoring, but the Lions kept scoring, and then they got a stop, and then they scored again, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point game, and it's a 10-point game with 9 minutes left. What do you... I love what the Eagles did. A.J. Brown went crazy. Running game was good. Jalen looked good, but he didn't look great passing. The completion percentage wasn't great. It's kind of a Jalen game of last year, I'd say, with just an even more talented roster still around him. But 35 points to the Lions is a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
14 of those came in the fourth. So that would be something to... I would definitely look at that as the season goes on. I mean,
maybe just a prevent defense. You know how that happens. What is the deal with that too? Is, again, someone who played defense. What is it that teams, when you go into a prevent, that guys like just allow these chunk plays?
Little dink and dunks.
Because it almost seems like defense design it like, hey, we're just going to only try to... I don't even know what the design is. It's so many times when guys go into prevent defenses, you hear people like, if they would have just kept playing, stick to their game plan and the way they've been playing for 3 quarters, the same results are going to keep happening. Obviously, maybe don't send an all-out blitz as often as you would.
the only time I think a prevent defense is justifiable is when you're like going to prevent a Hail Mary. When it's like, okay, this is obvious, there's 2 seconds left and they're on their own 40
or 20 seconds and they've got to go the whole distance of
and
the
they're
field
down,
and score a touchdown.
They're down yeah, they're down 8 or 7. They have to score. I get that, but I completely agree with the whole just play defense. I mean, you can play cover 4. That's still, you have 4 dudes that are supposed to just drop. Why is that not enough?
What is it that changes? Is it just that they also drop the corners with those 4 guys that go?
Yes, you add an extra DB,
so that
and then they all just play super far back, which it's like you're literally giving a free 10 yards, like automatic. You're just automatically giving up 10 yards doing that.
Okay, any thoughts? Any more thoughts on the Eagles lines before I get to just something else that was just a ridiculous thing?
About the defense, I think also in the fourth quarter you're just so gassed too that your players are just like, it happened with the Chargers too, that we're just our defense is on the field so long that you're just gassed and just letting shit up and letting guys get by you for 8 to 10 yards. But I mean, yeah, it was a pretty crazy game for the Lions to put up 35.
Swift.
144 on the ground.
I wanted him so bad in multiple leagues, and I should have just paid for him in Hippo. I ended up paying more for Aaron Jones at the end of the day than I would have Swift, because it was just so crazy seeing all those running backs go for that much. Yeah, good morale win, I'd say, for the Lions. We still, if we're Lions, as a Lions fan, kind of by association of my grandfather, we are still in rebuild mode. We like the roster. We like the O-line. We like Swift. We like Amon-Ra. We like Aiden Hutchinson. We like some of the defense. But we need the quarterback. So we would still like to go 3-14 this year, get a top 5 pick, and get one of these 3 quarterbacks or whatever it is in this class.
Yeah.
That's still the goal. So that goal was met. 38-35, really entertaining. Hopefully the Lions are still all over our red zone for the sake of watching and our fantasy teams that they're scoring. But fun.
They're frisky.
Yeah, frisky. That was a game that was closer than I thought it was going to be. I mean, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And the one that should not have been as close as it was literally could not be closer when you look at the standings. At halftime, the Texans, I believe, were up 10 points on the Colts. It might have been 13-3.
It was 10-3. Texans were up.
Okay, 10-3. Colts, they're going to come back. They're not going to lose to the Texans. You got Pittman. You got JT. You got Matt Ryan. He's way better than Wentz. The Saints, they're not going to lose to the Falcons. This is a good team. We think the Saints are going to make the playoffs. They got a great defense. Let's see what a parlay. It was 4-1. So we bet Colts, Saints. All right, second half. Let's get our action in. And the Colts, dude, I don't even know. It was the grossest tie of all time. The Steelers game was almost a 2020 tie, and at least was the most entertaining game I've ever watched. All the Colts was like watching Matt Ryan get hit, scrambling, and like being really concerned. And JT have a good fourth. Pittman had a good game. But the Texans, I mean, Davis Mills looked okay. And then Rodrigo, you're not the real Rodrigo, as Andrew Siciliano said. You're not. Fuck! The kicking was so bad. Get rid of kickers. Another thing. Get rid of kickers. Yes? Amen? Can I get an amen?
What would you implement in
2-pointers?
exchange for that? What would you do?
A touchdown is automatically 7 points unless you want to put the ball at the... You can argue
10.
I was going to say the 5.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say the 5. You put it at the 5, and if you get it, you have 8. If you don't get it, you have 6.
I have a theory.
Okay, that's cool.
Laugh at me all you want. I don't care. In Madden, they implemented this thing in one of the game modes where after you score, there's no kicking. It's you go for 1 point from the 2, 2 points from the 10,
No.
3 points from like the 20 or something. Not saying it's smart, but you could do something like that.
There's already enough bad beats, and teams already find ways to fuck up games enough that we can't give them more opportunities to mess up games. It's hard enough to figure it out as it is. We can't be having like, you get 7.5 points if it's from the 33. Like, you can't, like,
no,
I make it simple.
It would be, I just think of it this
if you
way,
want,
like,
give them like, put it at the 25 and you get an extra 3 points so that someone can maybe take it. But that's still pushing it. That's in 2050. By 2030, we need to get rid of kickers and at least have this other thing one step at a time. Can't take everyone's guns, just a few at a time. You know? No Colts Texans thoughts. That's about
Matt
that
Ryan.
little thing of silences. I think.
I
about it.
mean,
Matt Ryan throwing 50 passes. Interesting.
I'm just not betting on the Colts, and I'm gonna say
No,
that. And when you
no.
tell me the lines for next week's games, I'm probably gonna want to tease the Colts, and it's probably gonna happen anyways. But holy shit, are they gonna frustrate me all year?
Oh,
It's gonna be just as frustrating as Wentz, because Matt Ryan, while he won't make the mistakes that Wentz does, he also can't really do much.
He can't move at all. When
Yeah,
he's
he just
moving in
can't
the
move.
pocket, he looks like Ben. He looks like
It
Ben
looks like
trying
Ben.
to move in the
Yeah.
pocket. It was really ugly.
His arm is still a little more lively.
Oh,
than
yeah,
Ben's
yeah,
was,
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the pro.
But his legs, man, he's got tree trunks for like not good tree trunks, like
No.
thick legs, like
That old
rooted into the ground.
that
Yeah.
old dried out wood that's about to break if you give it one swift kick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. I mean,
Looks like he's playing with ankle weights on or something. It's bad.
it's
Speaking of
scary.
ankle weights, I said Mac Jones looked like shit.
Yeah, let's talk about this game.
I am before we get to Tua, no, I just don't. It's not that I don't even believe in Mac. I don't. He's obviously not a Herbert guy. He's not a Herbert guy. But he could be a Derek Carr guy. He could be a Tua guy. He could be a middle of the road starter in the NFL guy. But those guys need the situations. We talked about it with Dak. We talked about it with all these guys. They need the situations, and he's just not going to have the situation.
Yeah, he's like a top 16 quarterback. Like, he'd win you 8-9 games maybe in the right, like a Jimmy.
Yeah, he can have a
Almost.
top 10 year.
Yeah, in a
But,
great
like-
system with great receivers, great O-line, great run game. He might look pretty good.
And he's on the
But-
team that can't draft receivers more than anybody in the
No.
whole league.
No, he's on a bad team for.
Yet they
getting
have the
receiver
most
help.
money attached to their pass catchers of anybody in the whole
And
league.
it's two tight ends that can't stay healthy.
No. And the one who I like more, I think, Jonnu, they don't use as much, and he's not involved as much.
And he was hurt today. He was limping.
Great.
Yeah, he was.
But I really
Yep.
do like Jonnu though, because
Dude.
he's a run after catch, just a monster, just a grown man.
He
Just
was a guy I
real-
wanted you guys to go after.
Yeah.
Because that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys got Everett though.
He had a good touchdown today.
Such
Looked
another
pretty good.
cock tease, though. He'll have those plays, and it's nice, but he's just frustrating because you look at him and you're like, you should be good. You should be good. Like,
I
why
think
have
he
you been
will
on
be good.
4 teams in the last 3 years?
He hasn't had a Herbert
He was with Russ.
with his finger.
I mean, yeah, but even before that, wasn't he with the Rams?
With Goff.
Yes, he was.
Goff, yeah.
He hasn't had a Herbert.
Yeah, I just feel like the teams wouldn't want to get rid of him, though. I feel like they would keep him and like him. He'll be fine. He'll be kind of good.
I think he'll be good.
But
Goodish. Not top tight end, but
I
enough.
thought we just can't tell. Wasn't from Tua. Wasn't blown away, obviously, and still a couple bad throws and bad decisions,
horrible throws.
but made some good throws.
You throw it to your guy in space, and you have the two fastest receivers in the league. They're gonna get you 15 yards after the catch.
Right.
So
And he's the guy who can, when the guys are running open, put it on you in stride, like really good.
depends on the throw, but yeah,
Yeah,
you can
and
get them the ball in space.
so I thought he looked good. If anything, he was more efficient. The line was pretty good.
Yeah,
And the whole offense just looked more
McDaniels
organized.
is gonna make that offense look great.
Good.
They're gonna be a well-oiled machine where
Right.
they'll put up points.
And
Get the ball to
still can't really
Or,
tell
Tyreek.
the defense because, again,
Yeah.
the Patriots offense is
They're
such a mess.
so bad. The Patriots offense is horrible.
But it's at least good that you looked good against, like, that's what you're supposed to do.
You want to look good against any team,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I like it, though. Yeah, Tyreek had a pretty good game.
yeah, he had a good game.
The running backs for Dolphins, nothing.
No,
I just like that no picks.
yeah,
There were no picks, even though, again, a couple balls, very interceptable.
and some that there's that one that hit the ground out to his right hand side.
Yeah.
It was going to Tyreek and it hit the ground like 10 yards earlier. I don't know. if
Yeah,
he-
I want to go back and watch their offensive snaps again, and then
Yeah.
I'm more curious about what his ADOT is, his average depth of target. Is he throwing down the field more?
Got to be pretty low.
I would have to go through and watch it again, which is probably true because it wasn't on the TV as much because of these issues, and I'll just cap everything off with later.
Yeah.
The game wasn't on like the red zone channel as much, and it wasn't one of the ones that we were bouncing really back and forth on the other channel.
Wasn't
So
a lot of scoring.
because it wasn't on Hulu. It wasn't one of the national games, so I didn't see a lot of it. So I got to go back and watch the offense. And see what they did.
I ended up watching that whole game with Christian. It was actually really good. Well, yeah, I mean,
How did Christian feel about him?
he's very excited.
He liked it.
Oh yeah, he likes him.
God.
He's super excited.
Christian's
he
so
talks
the
wild,
one
but
to like just see 1 week and then just go, oh boy,
he's
See
all
you
in.
the playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Russ and Pat can play together.
Hey, Tua's QBR today was 104.
I mean, he's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, shit, 23 for 33, had 8.2 average, threw a tutty.
I'll just be excited to see it against like the Bills.
Yeah, we need to see it in like a big prime time elite defense, and
Right.
then sure,
Or even just a step up, because I mean, even the Bill Belichick defense, I don't love.
not
Like the
this year.
players, they just don't have the players. It's as simple as that. You can be as good of a coach as you want. If you don't have the players, you can't coach.
Yeah, you lose
defense up.
JC,
Yeah.
Van Noy.
The Browns Panthers was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I didn't get to watch that game.
I didn't see a ton of it until the end when it was just a catastrophe. Then you're just looking at all these games and who's missing this kick. He's hitting the upright. That's a hold. That guy just one-handed it over here. This kicker just missed another one. But the Browns Panthers was, I guess if you're a Panthers fan, man, at least in the first quarter, Baker had a couple plays and he did have a couple big plays and they were okay. But it was, I guess you could say, the whole Baker experience as well.
yeah.
Flashed a bit, but wasn't great.
16 of 27, 235, and a touchdown and a pick. So, Baker.
The Baker experience.
Yeah.
Not as mobile. He can hit the guys when they're open. If there's a guy just running down the field, he's going to hit them.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you're
Got a-
really expecting.
Decently strong arm. Like, he can move the ball downfield and hit you for a 55-yarder.
Yeah, he proved that. I mean, he had a nice play.
And that's one win. I mean, it's about until week 7 or 8 until we can get into the. All right, how are the Browns doing in the standings? And now that we're about once we get about a month away from Deshaun coming back, are they still hanging around?
Yeah.
But I mean, the ones that you can win right now, especially, I think they chalked it up. I think their first handful of games are pretty easy. Those are the ones that you got to get. Those are the ones that you got to get.
If you want to be frisky in December and January, you got to start winning some games now. That's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out.
They have the Jets, the Steelers, the Falcons. Very well could be 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
3-1, yeah.
You can tell me that they would be 4-0 and I wouldn't be blown away.
Okay, but then
I mean, TJ's down.
after they play the Steelers and the Falcons, go look at their schedule after that.
It's the Chargers, it's the Patriots, it's the Ravens, followed by the Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Bucks, Texans, Bengals, Ravens,
dude.
Saints, Commanders, Steelers, Jags, Eagles.
That's tough.
But again, it's Texans, week 13 is when they get Deshaun back. So before you get to the stretch when you're playing the Bucks, Bills, Dolphins, Bengals, Ravens, Patriots, Chargers in a row, let's book 4. And then if Deshaun comes back week 13 and you got the Texans, that's a win.
Yep.
Let's just, for shits and giggles, you beat the Bengals.
Sure.
That's now 6 wins. And we got the Ravens, Saints, Commanders, Steelers, Jags, Eagles, Bears left. If they can do well in the next month, that's all I'm saying.
Mm.
If they can stay 4 wins out of their first 5, we are going to have to pay attention to them come November.
It will be frisky.
Fair?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
The Commanders and Jags, I mean, come on.
That was another one. That one was fun.
Yeah.
That one was fun. I thought Trevor looked incrementally better. That was another example of just an aura that I really felt of, holy shit, this is what it's like to have a coach,
Yeah.
to have a professional,
Huge step up.
to have a somewhat of a culture, to have let alone a system, let alone play calling, as well as the players.
They let him sling it too. I like it.
Bay Jones did drop a touchdown. That was a little disappointing.
ETN had a drop too.
And ETN had 2 drops in the red zone, unfortunately.
I missed one, I guess.
So that was disappointing. But then they hung around there. But Wentz Colonel looked good. Just the day of cock teases, dude. Week 1 is the cock tease week.
Week 1's bad, dude.
Week
That's
1
what
is
I'm
blue
saying.
balls. It's blue balls week. That's the name of this episode, blue balls. I don't think there was another game in the day that was as disappointing as the Cardinals.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
Because that was a morale that I felt bad about, that I felt awful about. The Packers, I'm not as concerned about. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. The Raiders, I think you can talk yourself out of being as disappointed because, I don't know, that was kind of a classic Raiders game. And you could chalk it up to being a division game. It's sloppy. All these Charger games are one score. So, yeah, maybe we showed a little bit in the fourth quarter that we can do these things. We got Devontae. But, again, the problems that we said before, we don't love.
Yeah, no.
But the Cardinals, I don't see them making it through this season very well at all.
Their secondary is really, really bad.
And Kyler, man, dude, like the attitude that he just plays with, if I was a Cardinals fan, I would hate.
How does Mike feel about it?
He likes him. He likes him because when he's healthy, he's really good. But I mean, after watching the playoff game, that would have left a sour taste in my mouth, and I would have wanted him. I mean, so many teams came out today. The Giants going to Tennessee, and they upset him. So many teams, the underdogs that win in week 1. You can surprise teams.
Oh, yeah.
And they just came out just flat. And I know it's hard. You got the Chiefs, the best maybe team in the AFC coming into your building. But, man, I think if I was a Cardinals fan, I'd be as degenerated as any fan base because other than Hop, which is a big deal, you have most of your team. I know JJ didn't play today, but I don't know if he would have made a 23-point difference for that defense.
No, because it's the secondary for me. I think the secondary is their biggest issue.
It's so bad. I thought I liked Byron Murphy, and I don't think I like him as much anymore. But on the other side of the ball, 1 to 10, your fear of the Chiefs going into it. Is that what you expected? Did it still even shock you that it was as easy as it was?
No, dude. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. I've said this ever since they lost Tyreek. They're gonna score points. They're gonna be dominant. It's the Chiefs. It's Andy Reid and it's Patrick Mahomes, dude. Everyone just kind of like, oh, he lost Tyreek. Like, no, he's gonna be in there for MVP. For sure. You have to expect Patrick Mahomes to dominate. If you don't, then you're going to be sorely disappointed or shocked. I'm not shocked when I see something like this.
Bills Chiefs.
Bills Chiefs.
Who, if you had to bet every week on where Bills Chiefs.
I personally would take the Bills.
Really? I go Chiefs.
Their defense is so much better. So much better.
And they still didn't have Trey White.
Dude, what I saw out of that Bills team was that is exactly what you want for a Super Bowl winning team. I mean, that's
every level. The line was great. The linebackers are good. The
top to
secondary
bottom,
is great. The safeties are just so great. What I would do, I would give away like a piece of one of my fingers. A piece like of my pinky, just like a quarter of it, cut it off to give me an all-pro safety for 9 years, let alone 2 of them. I think, okay, you just talked me out of it, Bills. Yeah,
I'm taking the Bills by a hair or 2.
Man, in a moment, the Chiefs, that's
what I'm saying by a hair because we saw what the Chiefs can do. Especially in primetime games. They know how to win games, especially playoff games.
They also know how to lose them.
Been there.
They also know how to lose them. Honestly,
sure.
if and when they meet again in the playoffs, it's just going to be exactly what we just watched. It's going to be just a rubber match, and let's see just who breaks who.
See who scores last.
Yeah. All right. The only other one I think I missed was Ravens-Jets, which was just gross. The Ravens weren't scoring 47 points, which seemed concerning because you thought they would, but they pulled away enough. Flacco looked awful, so again, can't really judge the Ravens because the Jets are just a joke.
I didn't really tune in.
They were Mike White chance at the end of the game.
No way.
Why do you want to watch Flacco? Talk about something. You talked about Matt Ryan throwing a lot. Guess what? How many attempts Joe Flacco had?
45, probably.
59.
Oh my God.
For guess how many yards?
300.
307. A TD and a pick. 60 attempts for 300 yards. Not the best.
That's so gross.
Okay.
2 hours later.
Off again. It's 10:20. The games are on. And I'm sitting here on the phone with this guy for now. It's been over an hour. And he says, and one of the times when he says, can I put you on hold? I get put on hold. And then it like resets the call and it tells me like some automatic voice that I'm going to be on hold for an hour and a half. So I just hung up, streamed on the other TV, watched Hulu on the one, and had the other Sunday ticket. I know there's a war going on in Ukraine. But I'm just saying that it fucking was really stressful, okay? And it ruined like 45 minutes of the day. And then I was okay. We got some food in me. I felt a lot better. I don't think it's as bad as Ukraine now. But for a moment this morning, I was livid. That was my story.
So you got your mom's Sunday ticket on though?
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't know that she's been charged $375. But
God, I would pay money to listen to this call that Patty Phillips is about to have tomorrow morning.
She's gonna, she'll give it because we have it, and it is so outrageous because they offer it as I think he finally explained to me that it's the choice package, which we have the choice package for DirecTV that comes with Sunday ticket. No, that's for new customers. New customers that join with the choice package, they give you Sunday ticket as like a bonus, like an incentive. Come join us. What about us?
Yeah,
We've been with you guys for 16 years and we have to pay $375?
That's ass backwards.
Come on. Have some loyalty. Where's the loyalty? Ridiculous. That's why fucking Amazon or Apple will get it next year and we can cancel DirecTV and those. But can we just get some English speaking like on the customer call? It has nothing to do with them. I even thanked the guy for being patient with me. I caught myself when I was getting really upset because this guy clearly I could hear in the background. Although off with like the automatic voices, and then when you say something into it, they have an automated keyboard to where it makes you think people are typing. And then it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna transfer you to this department. And then 3 minutes later, you're talking to someone. But quit just pissing on my face by putting this automated keyboard, dude. Just give me a fucking real person to talk to. Because it's so like, it's got to be is it a psyop? Is it a trick? Are they just fucking with us? Is Klaus Schwab at the Economic Forum just wants to keep fucking with us? So he just gives us to ruin our days more and make us fight with our families more? Break up families. Now this kid doesn't have a dad. Now he's on the streets selling drugs. Kills people. Kills a family. Now that family's done. 30 years later, you have the war on drugs. Now you have an entire generation of kids without a father. Another 20 years later, someone like Trump comes along. The whole country buys on board. Now is the most divisive ever. And now it's the end of an empire. It's the end of an empire. Madness of Crowds by Douglas Murray.
It's a great book, and I agree.
With that, thank you for joining Cover 3.
Week 1.
Week 1 is in the books.
See you next week.
Go boys.